Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting edition of Psychic Sundays Live with your host, the Queen of Booga Booga, Psychic Sally Diane. How's it going tonight, Sally?
It's going pretty good. I'm so happy to be with you guys. It's been a weird day. You know, we've had a few patches of sunshine, but mostly it's been cold and raining. So it's just nice to be with my friends and bask in the glow of your friendship. It's so nice to be here. My favorite hour of the week. I just said that twice. Anyhow, how was your week, darling?
Not bad, not bad.
Not bad. I noticed now. If you remember last week, the tower card just kept popping out all week, and I warned you guys that the energies were going to be a little bit fractious. And you know, I did notice that things were kind of easily changeable. And I treaded lightly this week and things went all right for me. And I hope you guys treaded lightly last week too and things went all right for you. We do have a question, an email, and I'll get right to it. But I wanted to talk to you guys about a very important event that's coming up next week. I'm so excited about it. This is Saturday night, April 29th. It's going to start at 7 and go to 10 in the Queen Victorian Room at the Queen's Inn in Stratford. The tickets are $25. You can order them by phone at 519-271-1400. And I will be there, your Queen of Ooga Booga. I will be doing the May basket. And so I want everybody to bring a little bag of popcorn and a little bag of candy for the May basket. Lynn Stevenson, who's been on our show from Third Eye View, is going to help us to make little maypoles. And
So, are you ready to get the show started?
I was talking about the event.
Oh.
Husband hearing. Okay, so anyhow, we've got myself, Lynn Stevenson, and you guys know her, and we have Pam Mahoney, and you guys know her, and she's going to be telling stories about May Day too. So it's going to be active. There's going to be snacks and refreshments and all of your friends. And so I want everybody to buy a ticket and come next Saturday night and be with all of us. And to buy your tickets online, by phone again, 519-271-1400. Okay, so yes, now we can get on with the show. I hope he hears me. Anyhow, our question.
What were you saying?
I love you, dear. Okay, so our question today. Now, Cindy sent us an email. And of course, friends, if you send an email, your questions will be read at the beginning of the show too. So if you want to send your question in advance, just email it off anytime during the week to the Queen of Ooga Booga at gmail.com. And over there. And the email address is there. And of course, there's always a spa near the tracks, which is where you call to set up an appointment to have a private reading with me. And I hope to see some of you for private readings. Anyhow, Cindy's question. Cindy says, "Hi, Sally. We will be heading home this afternoon on the auto train, then driving the last 10 hours to our hometown." And she wants to know if our bid for a room will get accepted and will the trip be safe and fun. All right, so let's see. So let's see how the trip home and the arrival is going to go for Cindy. Now, if you guys hear a little crackling, he's next to me eating potato chips.
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Oh. Ooh, Cindy. So I don't think the trip home is going to be so good. I think that the road conditions are going to be a little not friendly, so I think you're going to be driving through a lot of rain. because you've got these two swords, but they're reversed, so they're not as bad as they could be. Reversing the swords kind of takes the edge off a little bit, but I want you to keep your eyes open and drive carefully and plan ahead for delays. You know, get an early start just get an early start on everything as much as you can. Okay? So now I just want to look at your room too. And let's see how your bid for a room is going to go. Whoops. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. You've got sun. That's a very fortunate card, Cindy. So I'm sorry that your trip's going to be a little bit, it's going to have a lot of delays in that. But don't let it stress you out. Just leave early and relax and take a book to read or word search for when there's traffic jams or when you're stopped in traffic, okay? Just keep your cool. You'll be fine and everything will be good. Okay, and we will be, I see a lot of you have questions.
Was that the only email?
Yes, we only got one email.
Bon.
I know. I would love to get more emails from you folks. And I would like to thank everybody for all the positive energies they sent to Eva. I am so happy to say that she was home on Tuesday, and she's home right now, but she went to sleep early, so she's in bed snuggled up with her kitties. But she thanks everybody for all the positive energies you sent to her. She says it's lovely to be home. And she is doing well. She's even walking around more. So, yeah. Thank you, everybody. Also, while we're sending positive energies, our friend Brother Cree Chris has got some issues going on with his family, and they're going through a difficult time. So, send Brother Cree Chris and his family, his entire family, some positive energies so that they can get through this tough period. Now we'll get started.
You know what I just saw?
What?
We got a community tab.
Yes, we have a community tabs, folks.
Yep, we just have to post something to it now.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, YouTube must have changed its rules again. What a shocker.
That's fine.
Our first question comes from Ashley M.
Hi, Ashley.
Will I get the job I interviewed for yesterday?
Ooh.
See, now I got some chocolate stuck in my throat.
Okay, Ashley. And the cards say the Queen of Swords reversed, the Four of Wands reversed, and the Four of Swords upright. So when I look at this, it looks like it's not all that simple. So you're not their number one choice. Having said that, though, you will hear back from them, and they give me within a 4. Because what they're saying is that you're not their first choice, but wait for it. So I think this is going to turn out good for you. Okay. Congratulations, Cindy.
And next we have Sonia, who's looking for messages from her spirit guides.
All right. And we've missed you too, Suzanne. So, message from Sonia's spirit guides. And I'm just, oops, sorry for the noise, folks. I'm just going to grab my Rudrashka seed and see what. Okay. Boy, it's pretty still there. But I get this, one of the things that your guides are telling me is that you need to reestablish some family connections. You know, they're kind of showing me a little bit of stubbornness there, sort of that north and south Zax thing happening. So it's really, So basically, there's fences that you need to mend, and there's some things that you need to do for yourself before your guides are going to give you any more messages. So the first thing I got was a stubborn standoff within your family, and they really want you to resolve that. Okay, so let's see who's next. Starfall?
Yeah, Starfall. How do people generally view me?
With their eyes.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
I'd rather owe it to you than cheat you out of it. Okay, so she just wants to see that worldview. And I'm happy to see what the cards have to say. What do people see when they look at Starfall? Okay, so what the world sees, they see you as being an unconventional character, a bit eclectic. They see you as kind of marching to the beat of your own drummer. I think that sometimes you're a little shyer than you need to be, because this one right here says people sometimes wish you would open up and talk to them a bit more. You know, it's easy, like, especially if you've come from a background where maybe some people weren't so nice to you when you were a kid, that you get to the point where you think everybody's not nice right from the start. And maybe you need to look at people through a different lens yourself, because it really feels like people would like you to open up a little bit more. It feels like they think you're closed off. And also, they see a little bit of melancholy to you. So overall, people like what they see. They just like you to open up a little bit more to them so they can share a little bit more of your world. So there's nothing wrong with the way people see you, honey.
Well, there you go, Starfall.
Hi, Priestess. Oh, she's asking for the runes.
Runes reading on financial court settlements for divorce. I figured the last part didn't really need to be said anymore.
No. You know, that's the only good thing about a divorce, is that there's a point in time when it's over. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff about family here, and about about the child custody and visitation. So that's going to be looked at first, just so you know they are going to choose you. You don't even have to worry about that at all. But they are going to try and figure out some way where the change through the father's involvement can be a little easier. So that there might be some counseling advice there, sort of thing. But overall, you're the one that gets a kid. And for the stuff around the home, yeah, that's a bit of a thorny issue, and I'm not sure whether that's the ownership of the house. It talks about things within the home, so there's something here that's still contentious, and it has to do with home and family and inheritance and all that. So some of the property, some of the money, he feels like comes from his family. I don't know whether he's going to win that. Nope, he's not going to win that at all. And he's going to try and plead poverty, of course. And it looks like there's a little bit more teeth, because it says that there is a court order there, but it might take a while for it to get in, because at the end of it you've got Issa, so you've got a little bit of a wall. So once it gets into court time, it might take a few months before you actually get his paycheck garnished. And then this. This is a message from your guides. And they say you don't realize how free you'll feel once this is over with. It's like right now it's all about property and this and that and settling it out, and you're not really, it's hard to focus in on the what next when you have so many big things right in front of you and right in your face. But they're saying, don't worry so much about it. Once you're free from that, you have no idea how much your life is going to kind of move forward. We know that you've been working at things like educating yourself and improving your own life. But once the divorce is done, it just becomes so much easier. So, ton of bricks off your shoulder, for sure. Overall, it's complex, but it looks like it most of it gets worked out pretty quickly. The last thing is the finances, and on paper you get it. In the long run, it takes a bit to actually get it into your hands. Okay. So congratulations. Keep up the good work, and good luck on the journey ahead.
And next we have Suzanne, who wants to know about the rest of April.
Not much left of April.
All 8 days.
All 8 days. So let's see what the cards have to say about Suzanne in the next week. You know, my Southern mother used to say, silence is the better part of valor. And it feels like your guides are warning you against saying something impulsively. Yeah, silence is the better part of valor. And it turned up this. And so it's better to say nothing at all. Because right now, the way the energies are, you could really, it could really turn against you. So bite your tongue, bite your tongue, bite your tongue. Even if you feel like you should say something, don't say it. Don't say it. Okay, so let's see what else the cards have to tell you about the rest of April. Nice. Good. And good. Okay, these are all good cards. You are going to hear about a job offer coming through, and it could be exactly what you want, because it shows you being content and looking at what's being put ahead as in front of you. And I think it's enough of a challenge where you're a little bit more excited about it. Again, as far as the personal stuff, I still stand by my statement of bite your tongue. But having said that, the rest of April looks pretty sweet for you. I wouldn't mind having those cards.
And next we have Alicia.
Oh, hi, Alicia.
My granddaughter has withdrawn my invitation to her law school graduation. Is her mother asking her to do this? I don't think she's being honest with me.
Well, she'll get like the Two of Swords and the Seven of Wands. Maybe even the Tower. I just feel like there's... That poor girl feels like she's between a rock and a hard place. And there she is with the diploma, and it's something that she's fought long and hard for. And I know you're proud of her. Everybody's proud of her. But there you go. It's kind of like she feels like she can only invite one or the other. So I guess it's just not a good idea to bring you and your daughter together. Or at least she doesn't think so. As far as her being honest or dishonest with you, she's really parsing her words carefully. She doesn't want to be a part of whatever's between you and your daughter. She's just trying to sidestep it and get as peaceful of a graduation and as enjoyable as a day as she can get. And out of respect for her, I wouldn't push it any further, because it's not your daughter that's doing it, it's her. And she's just she's parsing her words with you. She's parsing her words with her mother. She's trying to find that middle ground. So I'm sorry that she withdrew your invitation. It has to do with whatever that situation is. Okay, and that's an interesting one. This is kind of an I told you so kind of card. So, yeah, I know that this right here, that Ten of Swords, because it's reversed, the swords are kind of falling out. So it does say that, you do feel like this. You do feel like this guy. You do feel like you're betrayed, but you really aren't. So give her a break. And when I say it's a I told you so card, it's kind of like she's choosing her mother. A girl should choose her mother, but it's not. It's almost like Stevie Wonder could see this happening. So I think that maybe your daughter behaves badly in certain situations. Okay.
Kara wants to know, can I trust the boss's wife coming into my workplace?
Oh, that's a toughie, isn't it? Let's see what the cards have to say. Right. Okay, so these two things right here. I know I said right when I pushed them down, because it seems like the boss's wife may have a history of being a bit disruptive. It's kind of like, no, it's not going to turn out very well for you. But having said that, I think that you can really sidestep kind of the politics and put a buffer zone between yourself and the boss's wife. So, yes, you need to be cordial to her. No, you cannot trust her. Don't give her any information.
What a shocker. New Love wants to know, what am I good at that I don't know about?
Oh.
We don't know the things you don't know.
Well, let's see. Let me just ask the rune what your hidden talents are, okay? Ooh, which one did I drop?
I don't know yet.
Seriously.
Tell him to sit on the fence?
Well, sort of. Your talent is kind of being an obstacle and being stubborn and tenacious. It does say that you work well with others. You're good at finding people who work in harmony with you. Does say that over the summer things are going to change rapidly. So yeah, you are going to find it's kind of like, as annoying as your stubbornness and your bullheadedness has been in the past, it works for you right now. Yeah, it works for you right now because you've got some challenges around the home. And you've got some challenges at work as well. So that idea of being tenacious and having your goals and your sights set on something and focusing on something, and that focus, that's your talent, and that's what you need to bring out. Like in the workplace, it feels like you've got some competition that might not be so good. And so this is a good time for you to learn the lessons of the past. Okay, but stubbornness in the setting of goals is your talent. I know I'm not being funny there. That's what they're saying. Pretty much, any personality trait can be a benefit if you direct it if you channel it in the right direction. So,
Mystical Mushroom, welcome, new subscriber. How does Sagittarius still view me?
All right. We're not going to say through your eyes, through his eyes.
That's right, because he's using binoculars.
Okay, so Mystic Mushroom and Mystic Mushroom Sagittarius. Okay, so he sees potential. I think that he might be a little bit picky, because it says that he's had hope before and been let down. So that might be why he seems to be a little reluctant, even though you feel these vibes from him that he really likes you and he really wants a future with you. He does. He's just taking his time because he's been stung before. Having said that, by the summer, you'll see that the relationship going forward. Okay?
And next we have Joanne.
Hi, Joanne.
Will I end up sharing an apartment this year with my best friend of over 20 years?
Best friend, eh? Okay. Let's see what the cards think of Joanne and her friend sharing an apartment. Let's see. Okay, the very first thing the cards tell me is there's a potential to work out, but you really need to kind of get more in touch with your best friend's family and that. It's kind of like you need to bring that community closer together in order for this to work and in order for you to get the kind of accountability you would like to have from a roommate. But there's that potential there. Yeah. Your best friend, it seems to be punctual and detail driven. So you want to make sure that you have everything in black and white and spelled out ahead of time. All right, so that gets back to making sure that you make a good connection with family and friends, because that's going to give you kind of a window on the sort of boundaries you need to put into place. And it doesn't matter who it is or how close you are or how new you are to each other, there's still a need for boundaries, always. That's part of the human condition. Yeah, if you handle this right, this could work out quite well.
And now it's time for pick 3 for the week. This is where Sally draws 3 cards and you pick one of them ahead of time. And that will be your reading for the coming week.
Okay. I want everybody to pick a card, 1 through 3. And which card did you pick? Card number 1, card number 2, or card number 3? Okay. So which one did you pick as your card for the week? Card number 1, card number 2, or card number 3? If you pick card number 1, then your card for the week is 2 of Cups. This is a good week for relationships and friendships. This is a good week to reach out to people and be a little bit more opening and to form bonds. It's just that there's a bit of a blessing there. Existing relationships go better. New relationships blossom. Did you pick card number 2? Well, if you pick card number 2, then your card for this week is a Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands talks about being overburdened. Like, you look at this guy, and he can't really go ahead too fast because he has too many wands. And the biggest thing of it is that he doesn't need 10 of them. He doesn't need that big of a load. And you don't need to be carrying as big of a load as it seems is foisted upon you this week. This is a good week for you to thin out your responsibilities. And it's a good week to kind of let a few things go, just so you're not overloaded. Did you pick card number 3? Well, if you pick card number 3, then your card for this week is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is a lovely, naive card. I don't think this is going to be a real over-the-top productive week, but I think it's going to be a good week for friendships, and you are also going to hear from family members that you haven't heard from in a long time, or friends that you haven't heard in a long time. There's just this feeling of communication from the past coming your way. So thank you, folks. Thank you very much for participating in this week's Pick 3. And then we get on with the questions.
Yeah, they missed all of that last part because, your mic has been cut off at that point. Yeah, well, pay attention to the screen over here. It's sitting right next to you.
Okay. So,
anyhow, we're back to the regular
Dragon Fire, right?
No, Christy. What do you see in the month of March for me, relationship-wise? I'm thinking May.
Wait.
I'm thinking Christy needs to come forward 2 months. And then we have Dragonfire.
Okay. And now I've lost my place.
Well, that's okay. I'm here.
You are. Okay, so Dragonfire. Sorry, I can't see you right now, but what does Dragonfire want to know? Dragonfire is going to be all the way up. Wow. Oh, there he is. I found you, Dragonfire. And Dragonfire says, "Hello, Sally. Just wondering if the project I finished is going to produce an income of any size." All right. Yes. This card came flying out. You're just not going to do any better than that. Your answer is a solid yes, Dragonfire. Congratulations. This is going to have the outcome you expected. Okay, so.
All right, and next we have
Suzanne, who says, "Hi, Marcy. Hope you are well." And so, speaking of the weather, and Marcy for that matter, at the event on next Saturday, Marcy will be at the head table with us helping out. So any of you that ever wanted to meet Marcy, she'll be there. And also about the weather, according to the Weather Channel, tonight at 11:30 in Southwest Ontario and through Michigan, the Northern Lights may be visible. I know that right now we have partially cloudy skies, but I will be looking up at the sky at 11 o'clock to see if I can see some aurora borealis. Okay, so, and I hope you will be too. So, Haunting Live podcast. Will my father notice that my sister and myself know what's best? Okay, so, yeah, I know that's so tough. Now, and we're all sending you good, positive white light energies for you and your family. So let's see if let's see what's going on with your dad. Okay. I know he's a proud man, but yeah, his ability to express himself has really been turned on its head. Yeah, he's having a hard time sorting through this. And I know that it's not your mom's fault that she's sick and in need of care, but yet he kind of blames her for it, which he knows is irrational, but it's hard for him not to. So I'm worried about what's going on in your dad's thought process. So yeah, I really think that golly, I know he's stubborn. I know he's proud, but I hope he listens to you guys. Please, please, please. Yes. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. There's this idea in temperance and things coming into balance, and both of you need to work in harmony. I don't know whether your father is a religious man, because I'm just getting this idea of bringing the priest or the minister in on it. So there's also another person that your father looks up to as for spiritual guidance. But your answer to the question of your dad is a resounding yes. I'm glad to see that. He's really going through a painful process there. I'm so sorry that you're having to deal with that.
And next we have Yvette, who's wanting to know about her dad's insurance papers.
Okay. When will I receive my dad's insurance papers? Okay. Week to 10 days. It feels like there might have been maybe a middle initial. It just feels like maybe one of the I's wasn't dotted or one of the T's wasn't crossed, so that the whole thing is getting a second look. But week to 10 days. And Donna wants to know how May is looking for herself and her family. All right. So, May for Donna. Okay, so you might find the Emperor to be a bit sullen, because the Emperor shows up first, but he's reversed. So sometimes when the Emperor shows up reversed, it says that the person in authority figure, which I'm pretty sure is your husband, seems to be a little upside down. So he's not sure of his way or what his next move should be, kind of thing. So during May, he might be a little frustrated. I just feel like he kind of some of the thoughts or some of the things that he needs to say kind of get stuck in his throat. It might be a good idea to surround him with some light blue stones, like aquamarine or blue topaz or turquoise, something like that. The color light blue will open up his throat chakra a little bit more. Okay, so you have the Lovers. So overall, the overall picture with your family is one of reunion and coming together and love. So it feels like for the most part you're going to have a positive, loving May. Aside from your husband. Yeah, okay, and even at the end of May, your husband finds his grounding. He doesn't start out on the best of foots, but he does find his grounding, and he does find his direction. So I think that maybe he's being a little prideful, like, well, I don't want to do that. But when I get to the end of May, he's found something. He's found his direction. Instead of sitting here feeling sorry for himself, he's up on his horse looking at his goals and looking at the road ahead. So, May's a lot more good than bad.
And next we have Tevon. Is ex-girlfriend Destiny having a baby with my old friend Chase, or an ex of hers?
Oh, okay.
Well, aren't you nosy?
Yeah, I had to know twice. Okay, so the ex-girlfriend. And yeah, not sure that's the healthiest question, but who am I to say? So, Chase's ex-girlfriend. Okay, so it starts out with the Ace of Cups reversed. So the more she gets into a relationship, the more you feel a sense of loss. And I can appreciate that because that's basically what the cards are saying. And to you, it doesn't matter whether it's one of her other exes or whether it's your old friend. It does, no matter who it is, it doesn't hurt any less because it's not you. The Hermit's here to say that as time goes on, you're going to see the wisdom of you taking a different path and making her an ex. Because even though it feels like there's a lot of hurt there, but ultimately it was your choice to turn your back and walk away. And that's a decision that as time goes on, you're going to say, boy, I dodged a bullet. So. Okay, so I think that I don't think it was Chase just because you've got the world here. And it's one thing for her to, it's one thing for her to build a new life like right in front of your nose. That's hurtful enough. But if it was with one of your friends, then you lose two people, not just one. But the cards are saying, by the time you get to the end of summer, things are going to be so much better for you that you won't be kind of wallowing in sorrow over the ex. Hi, Jana.
All right, let's see. And now I lost my spot.
Oh, we're at Stardust C. And Stardust C.
Messages.
Okay, yes, and
what's going on the next 3 months?
And I'll look at what's going on in the next 3 months. As far as your friend Bob, you have the ability, and he would like you. And this is the same thing he told you last week. He would like you to open that doorway on your own. And you're perfectly capable. You're 1,000% capable. He gave you the information. And if you need a little more help, go to my website. I have an article there with a ritual on how to contact a past loved one. A past loved one. Okay, so let's look at what the next 3 months holds for you. So, just Stardust C, and what does Stardust C need to know over the next few months? Okay, Stardust C, and the cards say, you need to know that you need to trust your own vision. You need to trust your own sight. And you need to be willing to call liars out. That you show up as being the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is someone who doesn't suffer fools and doesn't mince words. And sometimes when we're in complex situations and we know someone's lying to us, we'll let it go because we want to keep the peace. This card right here, the Queen of Swords, doesn't accept that at all. And neither should you. A lie's never done by accident, and it is just like one of the ultimate forms of disrespect. Ooh, interesting. Now that's something. What else do we have? Okay, so you do have somebody coming back into your life, and it doesn't necessarily. I don't think it's a romantic relationship. I think this is a work relationship. And this is somebody who has been destructive and disruptive in the past. This is somebody who might not take other people's feelings into account. You know, and it's not that he's necessarily a bad guy. It just feels like he's he's a little bit too focused on his own goals, and so he steps on a lot of toes. But it shows that over the next few months, whoever this one was that was hard to control, by sticking to your own truth and saying some of the brutally honest things that you want to say anyway, that gets him well in hand. And you get this guy well in hand, and he can be a good ally. You just always have to be in charge of the situation. And overall, it looks like you've got your eyes on some long-term prizes and some moves ahead. You won't be able to get it over the next 3 months, but you might be able to get it over the next 6 months. So this is a good time for you to be aggressive and don't mince words with anybody over the next 3 months. Know what you want and go for it.
And our next question comes from Jana Mosby, who's looking for spirit guide messages.
And Jana, I would be glad to give you spirit guide messages. It's my little old Rudrashka seed pendulum. Okay. Okay, Jana, this is a good time for you to start looking at opportunities, because your guys are saying there's a lot of opportunities around you. Have the courage to grab some of them. You know, life is throwing a lot of things your way right now. Just make up your mind and go with it.
Yes. Speaking of going with it, Marianne wants to know what's going on in May.
Okay. So, Miriam.
She going with the flow or swimming against the stream?
Yeah, okay. Well, let's see what she needs to know for May. Okay, Miriam and May.
Sunscreen.
Okay.
That one's out of frame a bit.
Oh, yeah. Okay. There we go. Okay, so the first thing, Archangel Michael comes in, and he talks to you about being balanced in all things. Okay, so that temperance is a good message here. So May is a time for you to just take one bite out of every apple, but not two. Also, May is a good time for you to get things moving forward that haven't been moving in a while. So it's time for you to work on some of the obstructions. You'll have the strength and the balance to do that this month. So it's possible for you to tackle some problems that you haven't been able to work your way through in the past. Give them another try. Ooh, okay. And then when I look at this, Marianne, I'm seeing the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is somebody who comes in, who brings balance in your life. And I think this is somebody, the word foundation comes through very well. So you have somebody coming into your life who will be there for a long time.
Alrighty then. Next we have Haunting Live podcast. Will we stay over an extra night in Stratford on May the 6th?
Okay, so let's see how your visit to Stratford for May the 6th, which I know that's when you have your market out at the Stratford Museum. And y'all can visit the Haunting Live podcast website to get all the details about that. So let's see how that's going to go. Does that include another night's stay for you? Well, starts out with the Nine of Cups reversed, so it says you'll get most of what you want, but not everything. Ooh, you're going to make some good connections. I like to see that. But as far as another night, It's going to be so good, and I know you're going to really like it, and you're really going to have a positive, because you do these things to not just to make money in the moment, but it's also to set up connections and network. And the connections and the network and the opportunities that you set for yourself seem to go very well. I think the market's going to go well. The thing that I see with the Wheel of Fortune reversed is that you would like to spend another night, but it's just not going to happen. So, you can still be driving home late.
Da, da, da,
70-degree weather. Oh, start us. See. Oh, I'm so jealous.
Yeah, that's not right. Butterfly would like a reading for May. What does Butterfly need to know?
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. While Sally's shuffling those cards, why don't you guys give us a like?
Okay, so. Wow.
Are you really behind?
Yeah, there it is. Butterfly A. And Butterfly A wants to know about May. So what does Butterfly need to know for May? And the cards say, so the cards say this is the illusion delusion card, but it's turned upside down. And so the cards are kind of telling me, you know who's full of, BS and who's not. And this May is a good month for you to seek out people who are well-grounded and practical, and leave your dreamers and your confused people by the wayside. Okay, so another thing is kind of like you're getting negative sort of messages here. Don't hang around with confused people. Don't hang around with people, aimless people. Also, don't be around negative people. So the card's basically saying anybody who's any kind of vexation to your soul, whether it's because they're dishonest, whether it's because they're negative, May is a good month for you to keep them at arm's length. And then you have the Nine of Pentacles. And even though it's reversed, it's still a very good card. It talks about the potential you have for putting yourself in a position of long-term stability. And part of it is about believing in yourself, which is probably exactly why the cards are telling you don't listen to the confused, the dishonest, or those who don't have your best interest in mind. All those, keep them at arm's length, because this is a month where you should be focusing in on yourself and bringing positive things in yourself, because there's a lot of potential here, and the cards are saying right now you're not on a path to realize it all. So do a lot of purging in May. Put some people on red.
And next we have Glanifa, who wants to know, once I get to Colorado, will I start my own business or make passive income?
Oh, okay.
Why not both?
Exactly what I was going to say. Because you have to have an income. You have to be able to live and eat, right? And a lot of people work first and then build their business later on. And it shows you as being the Queen of Pentacles. So I think you can do whatever you need to do to get balance. This is a very productive card. You've got a little rabbit here, right there, which talks about fertility. And there's this idea of things coming to fruition and the seeds you planted kind of blossoming. So this is a good, yes, you want to look at your business, but you also want to get yourself the security that you need to establish your business. So you can definitely do both. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're setting yourself up for a good opportunity here. And then you have the Eight of Swords. We're going to talk a little bit about that because the Eight of Swords kind of is the restrictions you put on yourself. And when I think that when Ollie and I both said, do both get yourself a job and then focus on setting up the business, you know, because you have to get that stream of income coming in. So this is someone who says, well, I can't do it this way and I can't do it that way. And she really restricts herself and she really ties herself up, even though there's no reason for her not to just step forward, even the way she stands now. So don't put, I cannot, I will not, don't put rules on yourself. You are actually much more capable than you think. That's interesting. And last but not least, whoever doesn't want you to go and who is really putting some negative energies and negative thoughts, kind of like, why are you doing this? You'll never succeed. You know, this is a foolish thing to do, yada, yada, yada. Whoever's throwing that crap at you, you kind of need to put a little bit of distance between yourself and them, because the reason they're doing it isn't about, you know, your success. It's about them not wanting to get rid of you. You know, it's nice that they want to keep you around, but they don't have to, you know. What is it they used to call it? Piss on your cornflakes? You know, they don't have to cast aspersions at your goals and your dreams.
That's right. Your passive income pays for your bills and your savings for your retirement. And your business income is your hobby, and that's your fun money. And when you think of it like that, you're set.
Yeah.
All right.
Voice of experience. Okay.
Benapsha would like spirit guide messages. Oh, but I see it's 10 o'clock. All right, let's do the messages real quick.
Okay. Okay. So what your spirit guides are saying is that when you're making decisions over the next little while, you're at a point in your life where, as much as you'd like to make your decisions without thinking about anybody else, they're showing me that you're part of a community, and that you really need to consider the impact on others that your decisions make. So think carefully, but remember that you're not an island, you're not alone, and everything you do impacts others. Okay.
All right.
So.
Cola Bob, Stardust C. This is not the place for you to fight. Keep it up, and you're both banned. Good night, folks.
Good night. Have a great week, and I hope to see all of you at the event next week, and that is April 29th at 7 to 10 p.m. at the Queen's Inn. It's going to be a real fun May Day event, and there's going to be refreshments and 3 psychics to answer your questions. It's only $25. Buy your tickets in advance by calling 519-271-1400, and that is the Queen's Inn. Okay, so we'll see you next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye.